Geis, his first carry of the game. And he'll power his way up near the 25. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Geis with the carry on second down. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Winston from the gun on third down. And this is caught. It's Parker. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down. So on fourth down, here's Johnny Townsend to punt it. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. Oh, able to avoid him. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. And they'll go on the ground. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
And they'll run it here. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And on 3rd and 8, defensively, they're going to beef up the secondary. 6 defensive backs. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And able to find Conley. A big seam, and he might go all the way. Touchdown, LA! Chris Conley, 76 yards. And the Chargers have taken a first-quarter lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Winston now to throw on first down. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Aaron Donald. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. From the gun, Winston. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them.
They get that little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
Gets this one left side to Pettis. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. 2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards.
Ready, 125.
From the shotgun, it's Winston. Thomas has got it, complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Ready, blue 80.
Winston now from the 50. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. The Chargers getting set to go. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. First catch on that one for Kelce, and it's a first down.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route, it's extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he slings one that's incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Rodgers again now. To the right side, it's Kelce. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. Now for the field goal try, here's Eddie Pinheiro. On the left hash, officially it's called a 51-yard attempt. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And that will make it 10-0 here in the first. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. They go play action here on 1st down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward, incomplete pass.
Let's go now.
And once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And he'll get this one up to the 26. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback.
On 3rd down, Winston. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down.
Let's go.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a first carry for their fullback. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Ready. Blue lady.
Working out of the gun, Winston. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. That one goes for 24 yards.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position, everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner, and with good timing, you get a completion as we just saw there.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Ready. Black 25.
On 1st and 10, Winston. Incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Throwing again, Winston on 2nd and 10. Over the middle, he finds Pettis complete. Touchdown, Cowboys! Dante Pettis with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Cowboys draw a bit closer.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Gostkowski now out to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 8. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they've got to make sure they load him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. And on the ground they go with a running back. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Jesse Bates made the tackle from his safety spot.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Fighting through pressure, but now he's swallowed up and taken down.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is taken around the 12. Look at the spin.
Balance.
Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. They want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10.
Ready. Blue ready.
Now Winston. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that, 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. They'll hand it out to Geis. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the 2nd quarter, it has been a struggle. Jameis to throw it. And that is incomplete. Very solid coverage there by the All-Pro Richard Sherman. Able to get a hand in.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And he fields it cleanly. A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he's going to lose yardage here, back to his own 18. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Rodgers to throw on second down. Trying to lay one up deep. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
The Chargers on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11.
Zoom.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. And now here come the Cowboys. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Let's convert. Hey. Four down.
Now Winston. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was trying to hit Thomas that time, and it's 3rd down.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Third and long for Winston. He's going to air one out. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 23. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. P.J. Hall there to make the tackle.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Southern California after this. Accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. And now after the delay of game, they're operating behind the sticks, 2nd and 15. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On 3rd down, that's Houston. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This will be a critical call.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for L.A. And maybe some indecision on getting the punt team out there. And they're going to get a delay. So that'll back them up 5. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for L.A. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. And the drive begins with a run by Geis. And now where are they going to mark him here? Well, they say he did get back to the 1-yard line, but that could have easily been 2 points the other way. Out of his end zone, Winston. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Back to throw now in his own end zone. Dumps it off for Geist. And he's only able to get it. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Here now, Johnny Townsend. He's been terrific so far. And he'll try and hurry the kick, gets it away, but it's not looking that great. So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports halftime report. Coach? So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the third quarter. Fielded about a yard deep. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. A first look at the NFL scoreboard comes from down in Arizona, and it's an early lead there for the Saints. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
And they'll go on the ground. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
The Chargers on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Let's go, come on.
And they'll run it here. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Here's Rodgers looking to throw on 2nd down. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Daniil Hunter. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long.
Zoom. Yeah, Liz.
From the gun, Rodgers. Call that a loss of 7 to bring up fourth. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. This is taken at the 10. Spinning away. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They start on the ground with Geis. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now Jameis on second down. Eluding the pressure right. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Winston from the gun on 3rd down. And Winston lost the football. And this is recovered by the Chargers.
Well, that's a down and distance coaches always talking about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him, sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. To throw is Rodgers, operating from the gun. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The kick by Pinheiro is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Back to the ground on 1st. It's Geis. A good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the juke. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. On the handoff, it's Geis. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Third and short yardage. Winston gets this one left side to Pettis. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. He had their lone TD earlier. Now he's got a 1st down. Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. First down, Winston. And he'll find his tight end, Seals Jones. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run because we envision them in offenses, catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup.
Ready? White 25. Hey, tough.
A first down throw for Winston. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
Ready? White 25. Hey. Sonic.
On 2nd down, Winston again. He'll leave it for Cohen, complete. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. It's the Cowboys in possession of the football, but they trail here as we begin the 4th quarter of play. The Cowboys on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. To the air again with Winston. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Von Miller in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. And Gostkowski's kick is good. And that will cut the lead back down to 3 at 13-10. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. I guess the good news as they start this drive is that they still do have the lead, Charles. If their defense hadn't been able to hold them to a field goal on the other side, they'd be down. But now it's about preserving that very small lead.
It is preserving and maybe stretching it out a little bit. Because if you're a starter on that side of the ball, I certainly hope you didn't loosen up your shoulder pads or start to cut the tape off. Because if you did it way too soon. They've got to go back out there with renewed vigor, for lack of a better term, and also a good plan. They need points, and they need them now. All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine.
58.
On second down, here's Rodgers. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Chris Conley, the intended receiver. Third down here. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
The Chargers on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 8. Shotgun now for Rodgers. He's going to go deep for Conley. And got his man complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That one will go down as 33 yards on the third down conversion. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away, and they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 23 yards on the play.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be second and very short. This is where, fourth quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
Well, you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering whether they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what we said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3-and-out. Let's get off the field Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Chargers. A great play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Chargers are going to add on to their lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a good return up past the 30, but was it aided by an illegal block or a hold? Let's see. Now, wait a minute. They declined it.
Makes no sense, right? They just gave up a big yardage play, right?
And now it's going to stand.
The only thing I can think, someone is mad at their own defense, and they're trying to teach them a really, really crazy lesson.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Jameis now on 1st down. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Throw right side, going to be caught by Seals-Jones. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Winston now from the 50. That's caught over the middle by Seals-Jones. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Winston now to throw on 1st down. Throw right side taken in by Pettis. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again. From the red zone now, Winston. Oh, and it's incomplete. That would have been big in the end zone if he could have held on. Instead, it's 2nd down. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
Throwing again, Winston on 2nd and 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. K.D. Cannon, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys have cut it to within a score. Gostkowski with the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. The Charger offense making their way back out there. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all of their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here, 2nd and 11. And on the ground they go with a running back. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 14 yards is the pickup there and a Charger first down. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Rodgers looking to throw. Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Rodgers now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Tyquan Lewis makes the stop.
Well, big man with ball met bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
The Chargers on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And they'll go on the ground. Evades the tackler, and now some space. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, help.